We at All Over the Board are adults. We think like adults. We speak like adults. Sometimes, we even act like adults. That being said, some of the following content may not be suitable for young listeners. Enjoy the show. There, I freaking did it. Are you happy?
Yeah, thank you.
Now leave me the fuck alone so I can go back to watching my goddamn cartoons and playing my fucking video games, asshole.
Okay, so there's a movie called Cocoon. Marianne, you've never heard of it before.
You're an asshole.
I'm not.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not even recording right now.
Yes, you are. I saw you click the button.
No, I was clicking the button to start a new
Pay
thing.
no attention to the red light.
There is nothing going on.
means it's not on. It'll be green. Like,
Oh, that was going? Was it going?
Maybe. Hello, interwebs. This is Sean Ed, your DM and hostess with the mostest, and we are on All Over the Board. Thank you for joining us again for our second episode. We are picking up with our captive group, having braved the basement of the Lame Seahorse. And before we get going into the story, I want to introduce our round robin of intrepid players. Starting to my left, as always, is K-Knight. K-Knight, who are we playing tonight?
I am still Gore. I am still Pal of Din.
And what kind of Pal of Din is Gore? Which race is he?
Gore is Gore. Gore is half-orc.
The only race.
The only race.
Yes. Okay. How about Aeris? Marianne. What type of character is Aeris?
Aeris is a forest lord. Half-elf. Forest lord elf.
What's the difference between?
Who are you?
What's the difference between a forest lord? Yeah,
That's pretty existential right there.
I think it was Jackie Chan who said, "Who am I?" So, Marianne, what is the difference between a regular elf and a forest lord elf?
A forest lord elf is of draconic blood, basically green dragons.
Green dragons. So they're green elves.
Yes.
Cool.
I have scales.
Scales. Okay.
Making
And
that shit up.
what kind of class is she?
She's a ranger.
Ranger. Awesome.
She does range things.
She does do range. She does stuff on the range. Joining us tonight, that wasn't with us last time, is a new player. You may know him as Mr. Ruckus online, but he is our friend and companion, Patrick. Patrick, welcome to the group. And Patrick, who are you playing?
Hello, I'm playing Simeon, a human wizard, likes to throw cold spells around. This is my friend, the Puffin Gregory. He'll be hanging around with us.
Marianne actually looked. To actually look behind to see
And
that
then
there
looks around at all of us really
Can't you see him?
confused.
Everybody else sees him.
This is
This
is kind of one of those, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
What's going
What is
on
this
there?
referencing to? I don't understand.
No,
That's me. I have no reference.
I forgot you had a puffin. I need to get a puffin fig.
The
I
book with all the
don't even
things
know.
you
I don't know if they even
understand,
make
Marianne.
those.
Just get a little puppy.
Okay,
I don't know.
Can we be nice
I can
on
get
time? God.
I don't know if there's
No,
just-
baby, that'll work.
Yeah, I need. Oh, you know what I do? I think they have Hello Kitty puffins that I can get one. Put it on there, so that will work. But awesome. Okay, so welcome, Patrick. She is. I know from experience. But I asked for it about 90% of the time.
No, don't cover for her.
I'm
You don't-
not.
You do not deserve that,
For the
sir.
type of abuse that she gives me, most men pay good money for it. So,
Usually Japanese business.
she abuses my balls.
Oh my
Oh,
okay.
anyway.
Hey, it's Lane's turn. Lane, what's your
Speaking of adult things, let's go to our 13-year-old player, Lane.
14!
Oh, I'm sorry, 14. 14. Well, yeah, then you're definitely ready to sprout some pubes. So how's it going, Lade?
Oh man, I can like braid them pubes. They're so long I can just like braid them.
That one? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
This is a good reason why he's almost halfway dead because of the log.
I know.
Okay,
That's right.
and like
Laniac, what are you playing tonight? To remind our listeners.
I'm playing Dante the Buck. He is a human sorcerer.
Awesome. And also currently getting his ass kicked by rats.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
He's rolling up a new character right now.
Mac Attack. Mackenzie Joe. Who are we playing?
I am playing Theldris Blackfall. She is a dwarven monk.
I will tell you also that Melanie updated her looks for Theldris, and she did add facial hair.
Woo!
So Theldris.
She's got a very dainty beard now.
So Theldris
Hell yeah.
is as good looking as she's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. Like I'd say a 4.
Very nice. I approve. You know what? Let's
But a solid 4.
You know,
A solid
after,
4.
After a couple barrels of ale, maybe
I don't know.
will take you up on the white.
Let's start everything, okay?
Be gentle. It will
Let's
go
let
first
them
time.
go
to the bathroom with this
everything.
razor.
That's
come
right.
back
That's
out
right.
and talk.
She's got
Especially since they can't see us.
She's got lots of personality. That's what
Five
the
o'clock.
other. That's what the other guys at the
She's
bar
got a
say.
face for radio.
Okay, so Jeremy the Barbarian. Can you remind everyone what you're playing?
Herder.
Who's also a barbarian.
Yeah, he's a barbarian. He kicks lots of asses and, well,
And has found a very good,
rat's
some very
asses.
cool combat tactics with Aeris.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
They've-
she charms them, and then I come up and smash them in the head with the sword. It works
Yeah,
perfect.
it's worked really well so far. So hopefully that will continue to work for you
that
guys.
was her intention, but not at all.
It don't matter, though. No attack of opportunity.
No.
Great.
I'm
You
gonna
know.
tell them to
The ends
chop their
justify
nuts,
the
damn it.
means.
So, Mel, what do we got? Who are we playing?
I am playing Ragna, the half-elf evil cleric of hell.
Awesome.
1L.
1L.
Don't
Hipster.
I have to clarify every time.
Hipster hell.
And she
Yes.
one hockey stick.
And lastly, but definitely not.
I'm not least.
No,
She
no
was
way.
even suggested.
No way.
Hopefully measured by height.
Well,
Yeah,
oh.
that is true.
Ooh, well, I might be the shortest character.
You're the most conveniently heighted,
Oh, yeah.
according to what I think.
Except in elevators.
Yes. Bry guy, who are you playing?
Zaxel, the Goblin Rogue. I
Awesome.
almost forgot what I was again. I did that last time.
All right, so off to a great start, as you can
Yeah.
see.
Nobody remembers your character.
Let's catch you up on what happened, and we'll get right into it. Briefly, the group last time had come to the capital city of the Kingdom of Stormtree to find their fortune, and had made their way to a small tavern with dwarven iron furnishings called the Lame Seahorse. They went in hoping to try their luck at finding a job, were successful in speaking with the tavern owner, a wily, one-eyed dwarven buccaneer named Sal. Proceeded to, some of them tried to flirt with some of the tavern patrons and
Oh, I didn't just try.
found that getting lucky was pretty hard to do. And then Zaxel also found out the meaning of stranger danger. With the young Fey child friend of Sal, which we still haven't explained that relationship yet. Probably don't want to know.
I'm out 30 gold and I got nothing to show for it.
So they found out that there is a pixie infestation at the Lame Seahorse, and that until further notice, Sal cannot continue his wheeling and dealings in his hidden gambling hall down in the basement of the Lame Seahorse. Officially, he cannot open his kitchen, but that's really the least of his concerns, because that's not where he makes his earnings. As the group proceeded down into the gambling hall of the Lame Seahorse in its secret underground area, they ran into the worst fated foes of the first level characters, the evil rats. And some fared better than others. Some found that they have new combo attacks that never before were realized. While others tried to find ways to passively and peacefully capture the rats.
What, you?
But that didn't seem to work out well either. So, as the group tends to their wounds, Aeris, our forest lord, elf, ranger, had discovered a secret passageway underneath the fighting pit in the corner of the Lame Seahorse. That if she moved a grating in the floor, we would believe that they just kind of hosed down the gore and into the sewers below. She knows that the grating had been moved slightly. When she continued to move it, there was a passageway, a little ladder with a passageway below. And the group, after finishing off the rats in the basement, had decided that they needed to further investigate the lower levels of underneath the Lame Seahorse and see if they can find these pesky pixies. So, that's where we left off, and that's where we're picking up. Now, first order of business. I believe that Herger is still raging out. So, Herger, are you going to voluntarily stop raging out, or are you going to continue to, or I should say, investigate Herger style?
Have an intervention for you.
I'm gonna come out of the Hulkamania.
Okay, so Herger calms himself. He seems sweaty and tired.
He whacked it. That's the only way to stop it.
It's the only way.
I don't make the fucking
After violent masturbation, Herger finally comes out of his rage.
rules. I feel better.
And I love you.
And I love you. So the rest of the group kind of checks to see if they're badly injured. The worst of the bunch is Dante, who is hanging on for dear life. Now that Herger is out of harm's way of destroying or raping the rest of the group, we should probably decide what the order descending into the lower levels is. Who would like to go first?
I'll do it.
Gore?
Gore?
Let Gore go first.
Fine, Gore.
Operation Get Behind Gore.
Okay. All right. So who else? I'm
I'll
gonna
go behind him.
go Gore, and then Herger,
And I'll go too.
and then Zaxel,
I guess I'll go.
and then Theldris.
Then me.
You sure about that, buddy?
I'd rather not be in the back where somebody can backstab me.
Okay. And then what about I have Aeris and I have.
I'm going last.
Okay. Okay. So then it is
I'll backstab Aeris.
Ragna and Aeris. Okay.
We've
So
got a Congo line going.
so down the stairs or down the ladder, Gore goes. Make your way to the bottom. It's about a 30-foot chute with a attached metal ladder set into the stone. You get to the bottom, you realize that you are in the sewers underneath, the sewer tunnels underneath of Sanctum, Factory District. You look around and you see you do have dark vision. Not that you really need it right now, because as you approach the bottom, you realize that there is some shadows playing off of a light. Off to your right is a burning brazier. It looks more like, by burning brazier, I mean really it's just more like a junk heap in a can. Yeah, pretty much a hobo fire. There is an old discarded wooden shelf built into the wall over here. Kind of like there's like somebody built one into the nook where it's recessed back there into the wall, and you can see various bottles and different things sitting on the shelf. Over in the corner is a throne, and by throne I mean really what looked like a chunk of an old metal chair that now has been piecemealed together with other scraps of refuse and garbage. Think of like a really shitty version of the Game of Thrones Iron Throne.
It's the Rat King.
Yeah. So like instead of like all the melted down swords, It's more like old pieces of old pieces of lumber and maybe like 2x4s.
A biro or two.
Yeah, just kind of facing that direction and sitting upon the old throne made of scrap metal and garbage is a disgusting-looking sewer hobo. I say disgusting-looking because not only is he wearing rags, discarded clothes that he's probably either begged for or gotten from like a nearby temple or church, but his face looks, you can see shining in the light of the kind of malformed or scarred in some fashion heavily. He's bearded. He's got kind of longer, dark, oily black hair. He's wearing what looks like a tam, kind of similar to what I wear. He's wearing a heavier coat. He's just kind of hunched over. You notice he's got something heavy kind of leaned up beside him, like a walking stick or something, like a large metal pole.
This is rat bashing stick.
Yes. And as you make your way down, you see he kind of turns to you and he says, "It's been a while since we've had anyone in here. Why don't you pull up a scrap pile and sit and talk to old Bass?"
Stinky man, stay over there. I will sit over here.
Stinky? You don't smell that great yourself, you big lummox.
Gore, not lummox? What is lummox?
He says to himself, that's no one else's.
He kind of shuffles and he says, You're not here to steal old Bass's treasure, are you?"
Yes.
Oh,
No, Gore is investigating. Words! Things!
Gore just figuring shit
Gore
out.
angry.
He says, don't let the fire upset you, my friend. Fireman. He says,
You attack Inspector?
he says, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Why don't you come over here and sit down and tell you what, you got any booze on you?"
No, Gore not have booze.
He goes, "Oh, great."
Gore have water.
"Why don't you sit down and I'll feed you. I'm sure you're hungry." He's like, "I've got some meat and it's almost done cooking." And he kind of pokes at like a little makeshift spit that he's got over his hobo brazier. And as he comes closer to the light, you notice that now that you can kind of see his face reflecting against light, he actually doesn't have eyes. Like where his eyes should be, they're just totally skinned over, like scarred over. There's nothing there. It's not like they got cut out, like it was just never there. He's got this just warty, boil-infested, herpes, Tommy Lee looking mouth. And he's just like, he kind of like this black tongue comes out between like brittle, gnarled lips, and he cracked lips, and he's like, "Ugh, smells like it's almost done. Come on over here, my large friend."
Gore could eat.
He's like, "Good."
You nice man.
He goes, yes, you'll be my guest of honor at my fancy dinner. And he just kind of pokes at the food. There's some sort of meat, but you can't really tell. It smells excellent, whatever it is. You know, it's hobo cuisine, but you don't know what it is. So
It's like Chinese food. You don't know what it is. But...
I use detect evil.
Yeah. It's just automatic, right?
At will, yeah.
Yeah, it will. You kick it on. Yeah, this guy's very evil. You definitely get the sense that he's not a good guy. But he seems pretty old and feeble. I mean, you know, you're not really too worried that... Gore's pretty confident he can kick the shit out of this guy. So, he seems like just a harmless hobo. But he just kind of pokes at the fire and sniffs occasionally. And he's kind of waiting for you to sit down and join him.
I'm going to cautiously sit down, watching them.
All right, you sit over on the other side of the brazier.
Gore onto you.
He
Gore is onto you.
he says when he hears you sit down, he smiles, kind of scrapes his throne sideways a little bit. As you get closer, you realize what you thought at first was maybe little bits of ash, paper, or garbage burning up and into the tops of the heated part of the flame, and just kind of incinerating the air. You now realize it is flies, and you can kind of see some insects kind of buzzing around him, and buzzing around the hobo brazier. You notice that when you got closer now, there's two little, basically skewers that he's used as spits on this fire, and he hands you one, and he grabs one and he starts chewing on it. He's like, it's a better feast than the Queen Sabine, God bless her, will ever have. And he hands you one and he says, dig in, my big friend. And he's like, looks like you could use some more meat on them bones. And he starts gnawing and chewing, pulling at it. Smells really good.
Gore not sure what to do here.
All right, we're going to move on. So, a couple seconds later, as you're kind of examining your food, another visitor to Old Bass's lair comes trotting down, and you hear Old Bass say, "Oh, this is more visitors than I've had in a long time."
Smells like a porta potty at an AC/DC concert. Jesus Christ!
So, Herger, you get down to the bottom of the... Now, you don't have dark vision, so you really can't see much further. This is just kind of, dark here. But you can see Gore has settled down on the other side of this hobo fire, across from this really fugly old bearded hobo man. And that they're both sitting there. The guy's chewing down on something, and Gore seems to be just kind of looking at it.
I heard something about booze. I'm going to pull out a bottle of wine.
You have wine?
I have a barrel of booze, and I have 2 bottles of wine.
Nice.
So you pull out the wine, uncork it, and suddenly the sound of it perks up Old Bass's ears, and he says, "Oh!" He's like, "Come, my friend, come take a seat over here by Old Bass. I'm sure I can rustle up something for a hungry warrior like yourself."
I'm not hungry. It kills the buzz.
He's like, "Fair enough, but I'm willing to trade for a swig of your delicious wine."
Alrighty. I'm going to toss and sit the bottle in his lap.
He hungrily takes it and just gulps it down. It runs down his face. He's almost bathing it, really, than drinking
Suck
it.
on your shirt and keep drunk for a while afterwards.
And he goes. When he finishes it off, he tosses it into the water, the sewer water below, and it just kind of plunks and then starts floating up. He wipes his mouth. He's like, "Yeah, I appreciate that, young man. That was a fine bottle of the good stuff there. It's been a while. I'll tell you what. You head down that way down there. You watch yourself. I guarantee you'll find all that you're looking for. I know that I heard some interesting things further down into the sewers. You just trust Old Bass. You head down that way."
Well, I would have known that already. But
Go down the one way we
go down
can
the
go.
one way where the things are that we know that's down there.
You're the one asking. What did you want him to say? Oh, here's the secret. Here, underneath, sitting under my throat is actually the gold you're looking for, and there's pixies underneath here. He wants booze. He's
Also really
he's
awesome.
all
I'm going to grab
wino.
a torch and light it on his little hobo fire and start heading down the
All right.
dusty trail.
Move your guy. You can move, 6 squares?
1. And diagonals count as 2.
No.
I'll put 2.
If you're going to cross that, though, you will need to roll a balance roll because that's water coming
Can I
off.
just stand right here and stick the torch in and light it on fire?
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. I meant for you actually moving.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I want to face that.
Yeah. Okay.
He's doing
Do I
the
see
moonwalk.
anything else? Does the light?
Yes,
illuminate
as you get down
farther?
further down that way, you see that there is a you enter in ahead of you is a large chamber that breaks off in it breaks off in really 2 more directions from where you're at, and then it goes to your right, and it goes straight on. It stops short at a grating to your left. It's kind of like a 4-way intersection. You don't really hear any noise or see anything from where you're at. It seems like it's pretty dark and there's no movement in that chamber.
And then the torches along the wall of the light.
No.
Alright, well, let's go with my
So, Zaxel.
Zaxel.
Zaxel slides down the ladder, lands nimbly. You see the old hobo sitting there across the way. He says, he's like,
Oh, you
hey!
got a bottle of wine.
he's like,
Stroke the shaft and swallow the drink.
he goes, hey,
Punch the tip and twist.
you stay away from old Bass's treasure hoard. My big friend over there is going to make sure that you don't take anything. He's like, he leans towards the fire. He says,
What's Axel doing?
I'm watching you.
Yeah, can I bring up the point that how does he know what we look or whatever? What we look like if he's got no freaking eyes?
How does he?
Yeah, I'm asking.
You're asking him what? Say
How can you tell what?
He's-
Yeah, I don't know how to phrase it.
that how do I?
You see me without eyeballs?
Yeah, how do you see with no eyes?
He says, old Bass sees all. He goes, I've lived down here long enough. He goes, I see without seeing, and I smell trouble, and frankly crap on your friend over here. I think he might have pooped himself a little. But
Yeah.
that being said, I do know when I smell danger, and that's what just came down that ladder.
Well, it is my middle name.
He goes,
Well, good enough for Zexel.
good enough explanation for Axel. Moving on.
Your middle name's not Danger, it's Lewis.
Shut up.
He turns towards Gore and he says, "Is that a friend of yours?" He points to Zaxel.
Little orc.
Little Orc is a friend of Gore, yes.
He goes, "You make sure he doesn't take any old Bass's treasure."
Little Orc don't take Bass's treasure.
My ears perk up with a wink. My ears perk up at treasure. Can I do a search, see if there's actually anything worth anything?
You could go over to the bookshelf where his treasure is.
Oh, he sees me anyway.
You should just stand in front and give him the finger and make all kinds of weird gestures.
Give him a wet willy.
Do you want to give him the finger?
No, I'm not going to give him the
Give him the
finger.
finger. Come on, he's blind.
I'll
Don't
give him the
see it.
finger. Yeah, he won't see
fuck
it.
him.
He doesn't do anything.
I mean, he sees all.
He doesn't see that, evidently. You give him the finger and he doesn't really, he's totally just kind of staring at you. By staring, I mean his face is pointing towards you. And he's kind of but he's not really doing anything. He doesn't seem to notice it.
Fuck this mom. I'm gonna go with Herger here.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I don't need no stinking torch.
No, you don't. So
Okay.
you can actually move through the same square as
Okay.
him. It doesn't. Yeah.
So
Friendly
I get
squares.
6 too.
Yes. Okay, so you get to that as you're walking towards the end of the chamber. Bass turns across the way and he goes like this. He stops and he leans forward. He goes, "My big friend, sorry about your friend." And as you
Jesus.
step on that last square, you hear a
Ooh, I'm glad-
loud.
Oh, don't I have a trap?
Yeah, but you didn't search for him. You hear a loud.
I thought it was a skill.
You
Yeah, but you still gotta look for it.
You hear a loud
Might-
clicking sound.
Trap
Make your
finding?
reflex
It
roll.
is, but you have to look for it.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Welcome
So
to Roads 101.
So you hear a loud clicking sound, and then you see a giant boulder, or a Zaxel size rock, tied to a rope, swing down and smash towards you. Basically, just kind of. Whoosh.
Well, obviously I gotta do a save, don't I?
You do.
What, reflex?
Hold on. I gotta see if I gotta roll for attack or if you do reflex.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, my night's starting off great.
It is.
Can I run up and kick him in the ass out of the way?
No,
Like a fucking
no,
football.
no.
Melanie pulls me away like Lucy. Don't worry, Zaxel's fine.
Till he gets his
I'm
head
not going to
smashed
heal
by a rock.
anybody anyway. I'm an evil
Put that on my
cleric. I only
tombstone.
prepare
Don't worry, Zaxel will be
healing
fine.
spells for myself.
I'm a dick sorcerer.